On today's live daily news, a DWI crash in the middle of the day sends one to the hospital. The Abilene bomb squad is called into a home in Grape Creek earlier this week, and a look at this weekend's weather. Plus, the rodeo's over and the Cover One crew is back and ready to talk sports. All this and more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. But first, the Concho Valley Regional Food Bank needs your help. Join the food bank in fighting hunger and feeding hope during San Angelo Gives. Every dollar you give will equal 8 meals. Be a hunger hero today by ensuring that no one in the Concho Valley goes to bed hungry. Reach the food bank today at conchovalleyfoodbank.org or catch them on San Angelo Gives on May 2nd. And we start the show today with a DWI crash early this afternoon near Bowie Elementary School. At around noon, police to Friday, San Angelo police officers were dispatched to the 3400 block of Westover Terrace for a major crash. They found a white car had crashed into a work truck pulling a trailer parked on the side of the street. As a result of that crash, a worker who was between the truck and the trailer was dragged about 10 to 15 feet. He was injured, taken by ambulance to the hospital. During the investigation, police conducted a field sobriety test on the driver of the car. The 33-year-old could barely stand up, and even our reporters on the scene said he appeared extremely intoxicated. Because of that, he was charged with DWI, no driver's license, no insurance, and failing to maintain speed and driving left of the center lane. For more on that story, see it on sanangelolive.com. On Wednesday of this week, the Abilene bomb squad was called into Grape Creek after a search warrant found 3 homemade bombs inside a felon's home. 44-year-old Renee Lieja has been charged with possession of the explosives and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. The search warrant came after complaints of shots fired in the neighborhood of the 6700 block of Grape Creek Road. A search warrant was issued, and inside the residence, officers found the gun and the homemade explosive devices. The bomb squad was able to disarm the explosives, and those were sent to the feds, the ATF, so more federal charges could be pending as well. Early this morning, police were scrambling to find a missing 11-year-old child who disappeared around 5:30 a.m. Christopher Gill went missing from the 400 block of Spalding Street along with the family's dog. Luckily for Christopher and the dog, though, the family and everyone were fortunate because the child and the dog were found before lunchtime today. And summer is just around the corner, so be ready to go swimming. Brown's Park and Pool is opening next Saturday. Of course, they're located at 5301 Fruitland Farm Road over in Lakeview. The popular Northside swimming pool will be open from 12:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays until the school year is over, and then we'll go 7 days a week. 4-year-olds and up will cost $6, while 3 and under will get in for free with a paying adult. You can bring your own food, but no outside drinks or glass will be permitted. And that is not, of course, until next weekend. But for this weekend, the Concho River today was stocked with 600 channel catfish. There is no size limit on catfish, and anglers can keep up to 5 fish per day. Of course, make sure you have a fishing license before you go downtown to fish. Finally, for weather this weekend, tomorrow is going to be sunny and beautiful, and then there'll be some rain coming in by Sunday. The rain clouds will come in. Tomorrow there'll be a slight chance of rain, basically tomorrow night, but it will be mostly sunny, so perfect weather for Frontier Day at Fort Concho and the pancake breakfast in the morning. But by Sunday, expect temperatures to drop into the 50s throughout the day with rain showers. 1/4 of an inch of rain is possible on Sunday, and of course stay tuned all weekend to San Angelo Live for updates on the weather. And that is the news for this Friday. Now it's time to catch up with the Cover One crew of Matt Trammell, James Bellini, and Ryan Chadwick.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So long. Bye. See ya.
Adios.
Carpet Tech is hitting the highway, and we're coming to your hometown. If you live outside of San Angelo, we'll travel to you and waive the mileage fees. That's a savings of up to $200. The further away you are from our location, the more you save. Now's the time to get your carpets, hard floors, and upholstery clean, saving up to $200.
Bye. How was that?
All right, and we are back. It's, of course, the Cover One crew. We're here to break down all the sports, whether it be Concho Valley sports, Texas sports, professional sports. It don't really matter. That's what we're here for. We're the Cover One crew. So we'll break it down with everybody first. James, it's been a while since we've seen you. James, what's going on?
Not much. I'm here. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the NFL draft. I'm ready for, spring football. I'm sure everybody will say you're ready for football, but we still got track and everything to get through too. Let's not forget about those guys. Track, golf, tennis, all that good stuff.
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball, everything like
absolutely.
that. Chadwick, you've been covering that stuff pretty heavily here. So what's been some exciting stuff coming up on that front?
Well, we're up to the area meets in track. We got regionals next week, and then after that, it's just 2 weeks until state. Baseball is entering their last home and away series. Is either going to be this weekend or next weekend. And so baseball playoffs and softball playoffs are about to start. And of course, we had regional meets for golf today, getting ready for that state tournament in May. And then of course, we got local gymnastics that are going to the state meet in May as well. So a lot of local sports going on, and the Central Bobcats are actually really just blowing through it, and they're doing an amazing job. But not only them, but we also got the Wall Hawks that they're doing really well in track and baseball as well, and of course playing golf.
So if you like sports and you're living in the Concho Valley, make sure you stay on the sanangelive.com/sports, because we're at all this stuff. We don't do it for ourselves. We do it for you guys, so make sure you're on there. And you might notice that, hey, we haven't seen you guys in a while. It hasn't been because sports quit running. It's because we had another sport going on, and that's, of course, the San Angelo Rodeo. James, you've done the rodeo in the past before. Chadwick, it was your first rodeo, as the saying goes. So just kind of talk about the experience. Was it what you expected? Was it more than what you expected? Was it fun? Was it not fun? Be truthful and honest with me. Tell me what you think.
Well, it was interesting. I'll just put it that way. Just going over it, going from I've only ever watched the rodeo before, but actually working it was a little bit different. Filming it, talking to the cowboys, interviewing the cowgirls after the barrel racing and stuff like that. So I got to try my hand at something, a sport that I normally don't ever cover. It's just a different ball game, and even the terminology that you're using when you're trying to interview these guys, guys and gals, it's just different, So
yeah, don't want to sound like a yuppie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the actual process of learning something new, but it was a lot, and it was a lot of performances. So let's just put it that way.
There you go. And James, of course, you've done the rodeo before. Usually you're our eye in the sky. This year you got to experience it in a whole different way. You're down there in the pit. You're inches away from these horses as they're running by. Just tell the audience just a little bit about that experience.
No, it's cool. You're getting dirt kicked in your face on the barrel races, and when the ambassadors come by, you're right there and right there on the ground. And sometimes when that bull bucks his cowboy and runs down and is staring at you, I know Matt was getting up and he was getting out of there a couple minutes.
Hey, I'm not doing that kicking stuff no more. I got close enough last year.
Hey, no, you did, but you want to get that good shot. So hang in here and
hang in
if he ends up coming through, well, you can always dive out or jump out. So
yeah, it is a rodeo.
But yeah, no, like Chadwick said, it was a lot. There's a lot of work that goes into, just being there, filming it, coming back here, putting videos together, getting scripts together. It's early mornings. You're not getting done till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and over 3 weeks, it's a lot of work. It does. So there's a lot that goes into it, but it's a lot of fun. It was
way worth it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It's always neat doing something. I didn't make the videos last year. That was a Matt and Manny thing. So me sitting, being a part of it, it It was cool. It was different. It was.
Did I tell y'all that they're going to just move it again to next month? So we're going to do it all again next month.
Oh, hooray!
No.
Let's do it.
No, okay. But on a serious note, let's get back into the sports. We have some high school sports going on right now. Let's start with the most popular one probably that's going on, and of course that is track and field. We got a bunch of stuff. Of course, we had a big kind of video show on the San Angelo Relays, and we're looking at we're going to be sending Chadwick to the regionals and of course the state if things go that way. But Chadwick, let's go ahead and just kind of catch up everybody what they need to know, who they need to know from everybody in the Concho Valley's sports teams for the track teams, I guess.
Okay, so specifically, we're going to be talking about the Bobcats and the Wallhawks. The Bobcats last week ran their district meet. Bobcats and Lady Cats both did incredibly well. The Bobcats finished second overall behind Friendship. Lady Cats finished third overall behind Friendship and Middle Legacy. But with that being said, the Bobcats don't really try to win track meets like that. They just have they put their best athletes in their best events and try to get the individuals to advance. So Bobcats are advancing athletes to the area that's being run today in Odessa in 11 different events. So they have a really good chance at sending even more to regionals in Arlington next week. The Lady Cats don't have as many going, but they're advancing in 9 events, and I think they have about 7 less athletes. But one thing that we got to look forward to with the Bobcats is their relay teams. I'd say the relay teams is definitely their strongest point. I'm not going to say they're one of the best in the state because like some of these state times are incredible, but I'd say they are up there. I definitely could see them making it at least to regionals and then maybe beyond. And then on the other side of that, small school wise, we got the Wallhawks. They blew away the competition in their district meet. They're advancing almost their entire team to area that's going on. And to be honest, I don't know if Wall's even running an area meet today. Like they might just be waiting until regionals. But I do know that they pretty much almost advanced their entire team, Wallhawks and Ladyhawks, past the district stage. So.
Well, that's a whole lot there, and you know there's a lot of good individual players. I guess they play athletes during these couple runs. So, what are some of the ones that stick out to you, James? Specifically, I know that there's a couple out of Central. So, what was one of the most impressive things that you've seen so far?
It's got to be Jacob English's, breaking the record there at the Angelo Relays with what he jumped 7 or 6.
6. He got over
6'10"?
he got over 6'9", and he failed on 6'10", but he almost got over that.
Almost a 7-foot jump, which is ridiculous. That was, and sitting with his family afterwards, and with his brother and his mom. That was just that was just a good time to be a reporter, just be able to sit there and talk to them and be with them. Yeah, it was really cool, and that was probably one of the and then of course Wall. Of course, has a ton of athletes that are just three things are certain. People say only death and taxes are certain, but while having a competent sports program is probably another certainty in life that you can depend on. And their coaches is doing an amazing job. I think both their boys and girls are going pretty far this year in track. So they're just.
Yeah, and track's
really
not
good.
the only sport that we got going on, too. I'm trying to pop back and forth to both of y'all here. So, Chadwick, I'll pop back to you. You've been covering a little bit of baseball. You've been covering a little bit of softball. Just kind of give us an idea of what this Central Bobcat, Lady Cat teams are looking like when we're talking the Diamond.
Well, the Lady Cat softball team, they're playing their final home game of the season, of the regular season tonight in San Angelo against the Friendship Tigers. That game starts at 6:30. They are clinging to 4th place in district right now. They just ran up against a real hot Permian team on Tuesday, dropped them from 2nd all the way to 4th place when they dropped that game. But if they win tonight, I think they're going to finish 3rd in the district. It'll help them with playoff seeding moving forward. On the other side of that, the Bobcats have one of the youngest teams that they've had in recent memory this year. I was talking to Coach Penry, and he said they're starting a lot of freshmen this year, a bunch of sophomores. So this is a Bobcat team that's going to be really good in a couple years, but they are struggling this year.
Well, that's okay. There's still other teams here, of course, like the Wall Hawks, who has a really good baseball team, maybe hopefully going to be fitted for one of those state championships. Guys, is there any other high school sports? Let's talk a little bit about spring football. You want to do that a little bit? So, James, what are you thinking? What when we're talking about spring football, we're talking about mostly Central and Lakeview. They're the ones that have actual games. So let's talk about Central. Let's talk about the Bobcat football team. Why is it important? Why is this specific spring game important?
They are graduating a bunch of players. Tyler Hill's graduating, Jacob English is graduating, some of their offensive line is graduating. Their best defensive player from last year is graduating, and and they did just get a new defensive coordinator there at Central. So it's just gonna be important to get things kind of going and learning who your quarterback's gonna be and all that good stuff. They're losing a bunch of their receivers, so it's going to be a new look for Central this next year.
Chadwick, what are you looking forward to most about this spring football coming up?
I am excited to see how the defense is going to look now that the defensive coordinator search is kind of over there. Last year, the Bobcats at times just looked like a revolving door on defense, and that's not going to win you any games. Doesn't matter how good their offense looked. Even if you score 70, if you can't stop the other team from scoring 71, it don't matter, So I'm interested to see in how Coach Crane adapts to having another young quarterback, but this is the third time that we've kind of seen this now in the last 3 or 4 years. Of course, with Coach Davis's last year into Coach Crane's first year, Malachi Brown graduating, and then Tyler Hill taking over, and now Tyler Hill's graduating, and now we're going to see who the next quarterback's going to be. And front runners right now, we got a couple. I think there's one senior candidate. I don't even know his name right now, but I know that Jacob English's little brother, Christian English, or guys call him Squeaky, he's in the running for that too. He'll be a junior next year. So I'm just looking forward at the actual transition process.
And then, of course, just go ahead and just mention some dates and times there if you know them.
Okay, so spring football starts next Wednesday. I'm pretty sure that Coach Crane is going to be I'm going to be doing an interview with Coach Crane next Tuesday, actually. So that's when we'll have all concrete details and everything. But spring training is going to last for about 2 weeks, and that the spring game will be on the following Friday. So I think that date's like the 10th of May or something like that, 9th of May. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it's about 10 days of workouts, and then at the end of that is going to be the spring game.
All right, well, it should be pretty exciting. That's kind of going to wrap up our high school coverage here. We're still going to keep rolling just a little bit longer. We got about 5 more minutes on the air, so we want to the NFL draft's coming up on Thursday. We like 3 different teams, so I think it's a perfect time to kind of break down some of what people want to hear. So we'll start with you, James. Of course, you like those dadgum Cowboys.
Dallas
so that's
Cowboys.
it's probably what everyone's going to be wanting to hear about. So the draft is starting next Thursday. Who do you think? Tell me what picks do the Cowboys have, and who do you think they're going to go with?
Well, the Cowboys hold the 26th pick in the first round, and I think like 58 in the second round or something like that, and then I think 90 overall in the third. But I've heard 5. On Twitter, I've seen about there are 5 names you probably need to pay attention to for the Cowboys pick. One is Bijan Robinson. I don't think he'll be there. He's the running back out of Texas, and he is considered one of the top players in the draft. But running back is one of those positions where they kind of fall, but I don't see him. He's not. I don't think he will be there at all. He's that good where he'll be drafted pretty highly. Michael Mayer, he's a tight end out of Notre Dame. He's more of a Jason Witten type tight end. He's not the Travis Kelce type tight end or anything like that. He's more of a Jason Witten type tight end where he would probably be given 82 in Dallas, and and he would be a good pick for him. Darnell Wright, he's a tackle out of Tennessee. I've heard that name. He might not make it there to 26, but that's a name I've heard. And then I've heard another offensive lineman, Steve Avila out of TCU. He can play all positions on the offensive line. He played center, right tackle, guard. He can just play all over the place, and position flex is really good. Last year they took Tyler Smith in the first round. He played left tackle for him when Tyron Smith went down and played really well, and they bumped into guard. So position flex is really important for the Cowboys. And then the defensive player they said to pay attention to is Drew Sanders out of Arkansas. Not because Jerry Jones went to Arkansas. That's bullcrap. The whole, he went to Arkansas, he's a Jerry Jones guy. Jerry Jones only drafted like 2 players out of Arkansas, One being John Ridgway, who was a defensive tackle in like the 6th round, and Felix Jones out of, in the 1st round, obviously. But other than that, those are the 5 guys I think you need to probably watch for.
If you had to make the pick right now, if you had to make the pick,
if I had to make the pick,
I need one name because our time's.
My bad.
Here,
I'm sorry,
so
Drew Sanders. I would take Drew Sanders
name,
hands down.
So can you? No, I'm glad you gave that out. I'm just saying I need one name right now. If the death beams on Earth, who you picking?
Drew Sanders.
Drew Sanders. All right, and why?
Thin at linebacker, but behind Micah, there's not really a lot, and Micah's usually playing at the edge. You got Leighton Vander Esch, who's been hurt, and then a couple other guys who are young who've been hurt. Drew Sanders. All
right, now Chadwick, you like the Packers, so let's hit this one really quick. Tell me, what picks do you have, and who are you thinking about as a whole? You don't have to give me your exact pick, but who are kind of the guys that you're thinking about?
The Packers have the 15th pick in the first round this year. No idea what their second round pick is. I am not going to be much help in this year's draft because I'm a depressed Packers fan right now, okay? So everyone knows that Aaron Rodgers don't want to play for the Packers anymore. He's getting traded to the Jets. When that happens, who knows? We thought it was going to get done for the draft. Now it's not. So the Packers right now have the 15th pick. Who knows? We might have a top 10 pick, but if a trade with the Jets goes through. With that being said, we're moving forward with Jordan Love. We're going to need some offensive weapons. There's a couple different guys in the first round that would fit that bill, but knowing the Packers, we're not going to draft a receiver until the 2nd or 3rd round. So what the Packers need right now is a tight end because we lost both Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis in this offseason. Preferably a guy who can block. So the kid out of Utah is going to be one of them. What's his name, James?
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid. He's a big boy. He could be one of the ones who helps block. We also lost Alan Lazard. He's probably going to be one of the ones who goes and plays with Aaron Rodgers in New York. So just a big receiver. But if we don't go offense and we do go defense, which we need to do, that's where I think we're going to go anyway. We either need an edge rusher, which my boy from Texas Tech, he's not going to still be there, but I'd love to have him, or just go after one of the middle linebackers in the 1st or 2nd round.
So if you had one name, can you give me one name?
No, I'm telling you, the Packers draft is all over the place.
It definitely is, and even if they do move up with the Jets, they're only moving to 15 to 13.
Yeah,
if that makes you feel any better. Which
I mean, they'd have both of them at that point, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, and then for me, of course, I root for the worst team in the NFL, second worst team apparently, because we couldn't lose enough games to get the last place. So the Houston Texans, we got 2-12. We need a quarterback, Deshaun Watson. I hate you still to this day. You are a pervert, and I will say it very loudly. I think we got to go with it. We got to go with a quarterback. So we're talking about C.J. Stroud. We're talking about Bryce Young. We're talking about all these people. But I really truly think that Bryce Young is going to be the 2nd round pick. I don't think the Colts are going to go. I think they're going to pass on him. I think they may go Anthony Richardson. I mean, this thing here has them picking Anthony Richardson. I mean, the Panthers. Sorry, excuse me. So I mean, I think that maybe we have that one, and at the 12th spot, that's where we're going to be looking for some defense or some receivers. I'm not really sure who we're going to pick there, but I know that either way, we're going to have 2 first-round picks, so it's going to help. It's just about if Bryce Young is the guy or not. So can y'all both just tell me that he's the guy?
Oh yeah, no, I think Bryce Young is
Bryce Young is Deshaun Watson 2.0. That's my honest opinion.
Hey, that's fine.
He's a 5. What is he? A
5'10"? We'll be okay.
Was he a 5'10" quarterback?
He's like the mix between Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson.
Perfect. Those are 2 really good players. I'm in. So let's hope that goes. And of course, the draft is this Thursday. It starts at 7:00, something like
7
that.
7 o'clock on Thursday.
7
First
o'clock
round,
on Thursday.
and then Friday is the 2nd, 3rd round. Saturday is the 4th through 7th rounds.
All right, perfect. So, and we'll have coverage of it the whole time. So make sure to check on SanAngeloLive.com. Also, for all the sports news, including those track meets, the soccer, the baseball, the football, everything you can think about, we got it here at San Angelo Live. So SanAngeloLive.com/sports. And of course, Cover One, we're always coming at you at kind of random times. We like to come on Fridays. So if you're watching Live Daily News, make sure you look for us on Fridays. I'm Matt Trammell for Ryan Chadwick and James Bellini. We will see you guys next time.